Welcome to Prime Cyber Insights. I'm Noah Feldman. It's actually pretty funny. Today, we're looking at why a character from The Simpsons, of all things, is currently the biggest name in Silicon Valley. We're talking specifically about how Anthropic's new Claude Code tool is using a plugin called Ralph Wiggum to completely redefine the concept of labor in the digital economy.
Right, and it sounds whimsical, Noah. Ralph Wiggum? But the implications are actually quite serious. I'm Sophia Bennett. Claude Code is a command-line interface that brings AI directly into the terminal, and the Ralph Wiggum plugin allows it to run autonomously for hours, tackling complex debugging and feature requests with, minimal human oversight. It's a significant shift in how we view agency in software.
Exactly. This is all part of what people are starting to call the vibe coding movement. Instead of writing line-by-line syntax, developers provide the intent, the vibe, if you will, of what they want, and then the Ralph Wiggum Loop just takes over the execution. It's a massive step away from the step-by-step prompting we've seen over the last 2 years toward the true autonomous agents.
Yeah, and from an international law and diplomacy perspective, this is a real pivot point. We are moving from AI as a tool to AI as an agent. When an agent runs a loop for 4 hours, modifying a global repository, the questions of oversight and algorithmic accountability become paramount for tech firms operating across borders.
Economically, the labor dynamic is shifting right under our feet. If a senior developer can just set a Ralph Wiggum loop to refactor an entire code base while they sleep, the productivity gains are just astronomical. However, it also raises some tough questions about the entry-level tasks that junior developers typically use to, learn the ropes. Are we essentially automating the ladder itself?
There's also the drama-free aspect that researchers are highlighting. This specific plugin handles the recursive nature of coding, trying, failing, and iterating without getting stuck or requiring a human to constantly nudge it. It's the kind of high-level autonomy that regulators in the EU and US are beginning to scrutinize under those new AI safety frameworks.
It's fascinating how Anthropic is leaning into this by hosting it on GitHub and making it accessible via CLI. They're making agentic workflows the default. It's not just a chat window anymore. It's a collaborator that lives inside your file system and can work independently for, the duration of a standard flight across the country?
Totally. And as these agents interact with global repositories, we'll need to harmonize how we treat code generated entirely by an autonomous loop. We're looking at a future where treaties might actually need to address the intellectual property of vibe-coded systems, and perhaps more importantly, the liability for bugs introduced by non-human agents.
Whether it's a joke name or a serious breakthrough, the Ralph Wiggum Loop proves that the digital economy is moving toward a more hands-off, intent-based model. It's a brave new world for the global labor market and the definition of what it even means to be a developer today.
Indeed. Thank you for joining us on Prime Cyber Insights for this look at the autonomous future. Stay tuned as we continue to track the intersection of law and technology. Please note that this podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute professional advice. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.